Counter-Strike 2, the game that was supposed to take CSGO to the next level and adjust many of the concerns that surrounded CSGO. Unfortunately, while CS2 on the surface is the best version of Counter-Strike we've ever had, it still has glaring issues, and some of which didn't address what was problematic in CSGO. So kicking things off with the positive, CS2 is taken over CSGO, brought it to Source 2 engine. The game looks pretty, it sounds great, it feels good most of the time, and overall, it's the Counter-Strike you know and love. That's great. They also made some good quality of life changes. Things such as the new loadout system. That loadout system that now allows you to equip both the M4A and M4S on CT side, allowing you to have the option of either gun within the match. Previously in CSGO, you had to equip one or the other and you were stuck with it. Once the match began, that was it. So having customization, the ability to customize your loadout is a good quality of life change. Another good quality of life change that they've done is that with the game's new ranked mode, the premier mode, you now get to pick and ban the map. So if there's a map that you don't want to play on, you can vote to have it banned to play on a map you do prefer to play on. Again, player choice, I'm always all for that. Another quality of life change came in the form of the new volumetric smokes. The smokes that now allow players on both sides to see the exact same smoke and allow them to eliminate, for the most part, one-way smokes that shouldn't have been one-ways in the first place. All of these things take Counter-Strike, which was the best esport first-person shooter, and still make it the best first-person esport. The game itself is still fantastic. It is still the GOAT of first-person shooters. That being said, CS2, although is launched in a far better state than CSGO did, it is still not better than CSGO was when we switched over. And what I mean by that is because there's a few glaring problems with CS2. The first major problem I would say with Counter-Strike 2 comes in the form of the sub-tick servers, both in terms of its consistency and the correlation of what happens behind the scenes versus what happens on screen. So starting with the consistency, when the sub-tick servers are working properly and things are going the way they should, CS2 feels fantastic. It feels much better than CSGO, and it just feels great to play. You can look back on any of your footage and be like, okay, well, I missed my shot here, or I outplayed the guy here. You could explain everything and be like, yeah, everything makes sense. That's when things are working consistently. When the sub-tick servers are not working properly, this is where CS2 kind of becomes a mess. Because the sub-tick server, when not working properly, then showcases the issue it has with the correlation of what happens on screen. So if you don't know what the sub-tick servers are supposed to do, basically CS2 runs on 64-tick servers, and in the time of when this tick refreshes, things can happen. And the sub-tick server is supposed to calculate when things happen so that they happen appropriately. So if you pushed the trigger at the right time, it's going to happen right at that time, and it's going to count as a kill. That's great. The problem is there's a delay when what you see on screen. So oftentimes, you will have matches where you'll die from behind a corner. Or you'll secure a kill, and for some reason it feels like there is a delay in when the kill was registered from when the death animation happens. And that's because of the timing of when the ticks occur. So when the sub-tick servers are not consistent, the game doesn't feel great. You start to question what's happening on screen. You start to question what's going on. How did I die here? Is this guy cheating? Is that happening? And it's all because of the inconsistencies with the sub-tick servers. So that's like the biggest issue. The other issue with Counter-Strike 2 comes in the form with the matchmaker in the game's premiere mode. Now, the premiere mode is the ranked mode, and it is the mode where you do pick and ban the maps. And the interesting thing about it is once you achieve your rank, the matchmaking is generally fine. Matches are generally 50-50, and it usually feels like an even match. But when you're going through the process of achieving your rank, that's when the matchmaker is wonky. That's when it feels like matches are just not even. There's many matches where my team got stomped, or we did the stomping, and we're destroying the team like 13-6. And it's just like, that should not be happening that often. And it's like one or the other. And it only happens when you're going through the motions of getting your rank. But once you're ranked, it goes away for the most part. So those are the issues with Counter-Strike 2. Does that mean Counter-Strike 2 is a bad game? Absolutely not. Counter-Strike is still the go to first-person shooters, and therefore Counter-Strike 2 will at some point be the go to first-person shooters. It's just that right now it feels like Counter-Strike 2 was released too soon. That they had to get it out the door, they had to transition for one reason or the other, and here is where we are. What this means is that should you play Counter-Strike 2? I mean, if you want to play Counter-Strike, it's the only way to play it. CSGO doesn't exist anymore. So yes, you do have to play the game, but it's hard to take the game incredibly seriously from a competitive standpoint until these issues are ironed out, because there is a lack of consistency here. But overall, CS2 is still the GOAT of first-person shooters. It still follows that formula. There's a reason why maps like Mirage, Dust 2 hasn't been changed in years. It's because, well, the game is perfectly balanced, and therefore makes it the best esport first-person shooter, and CS2 is no different in that regard. Overall, I still highly recommend CS2 for anyone on PC. It is a free-to-play shooter. It is a hard shooter, but it is a great shooter nonetheless. I'm giving CS2 a 7.5 out of 10. This is Veteran Gamer, and I hope to see you guys next time.